My name's Mark. We all know how alcohol can harm the human body and mind, but very few know that several extra shots can lead to a new wife. This is what my story's about. Of course, I'm not the main character of this story. I'm only 17 years old. The main character of this story is my father. You see, it's going to be a very sad story. I had a happy family once. My father, my mother, my little sister Jenny, and me. Jenny's still a little kid. She's only 6 years old. But when Jenny was just learning how to walk, our mother died. She got seriously ill after she gave birth, and she never fully recovered. I don't want to talk about that anymore, if that's okay. My father was empty. He loved our mother so much, and now he had to learn how to live without her. In fact, all of us had to. 5 years passed, and life went on. Together, my father and I were raising our little princess Jenny, and things were getting better. The only thing was that my father decided that he wasn't going to look for a new wife. He decided to dedicate his life to his kids and his work, in order to give Jenny and me a decent life. I was pretty skeptical about it, but every year my father's odds of meeting a good woman faded. Well, you see, Dad was never a handsome man, and as he grew older, it became more and more obvious that he was short, wide, and that less and less hair was left on his head. How lucky am I that I resemble my mum more than him? My father was living a closed-off life, from home to work, from work to home, with rare visits to the mall. Not much action, right? It would have gone on further, if not for the anniversary of the company he worked for. The owners decided to celebrate it in a big way, throwing a party in Las Vegas, a fashionable hotel with bright and exciting shows, a casino, slot machines, noisy bars. I think you know what I mean. I don't, because I'm underage. But it sounds really cool. Apparently, my father would have liked to avoid all these festivities, but since he wasn't the only person in the company, both of his bosses and the people who reported to him would have looked at him suspiciously. So he had to go. Also, I had absolutely no objection to my father relaxing a little, and I volunteered to look after Jenny for the whole weekend. I wasn't expecting anything extraordinary from this weekend, and was totally unprepared for any surprises on Monday. The surprise's name was Lola, and she was a fresh, newly discovered stepmother for Jenny and I. Yep, you heard me. The new wife of my humble and quiet father. Sound crazy? Trust me, that was exactly how I felt on that early Monday morning when I woke up from my deep sleep on the sofa in the living room to a terrible, well, maybe I should say, to a high-pitched voice. I opened my eyes and what was I seeing? Lola looked striking? So striking that at the beginning I didn't even notice that my father was also in the room. It seemed like she was also taller than him. Lola was in her 40s, but obviously trying to look younger. She wore a lot of makeup, long bleached hair, and tight clothes, emphasizing her curves. And, there were curves to emphasize. So while I was sleepily listening to her chirping, the only thing I could think of at first was, where did she get all the money for her plastic surgery? As I learned before I even got up, Lola was a waitress at one of the bars in Las Vegas. At the same bar where a big part of my father's company anniversary celebration was held. About 5 minutes after we first met, this woman was suddenly grabbing my cheek with her long-nailed hand and starting to pinch it, saying something like, "Oh, my poor boy, now your new mommy will take care of you." After that, the new mummy got all excited about where our little Jenny was, and without waiting for an answer, she ran upstairs looking for the toddler's room. My father understood from my big round eyes and open mouth that it would be better if he explained everything right away. Unfortunately, the part about our new mother was true. My father had really married Lola on the night of the celebration, after he drank way too much, and he wasn't used to drinking at all. And according to the laws of the state of Nevada, this marriage was legal. Absolutely legal. In addition, my father couldn't send Lola back to her bar because of his honesty, his conscience, and his memory. He blacked out. He'd been so drunk that night that he couldn't honestly say that it wasn't him who insisted on the marriage. "Maybe it's not that bad," he said timidly to justify his deeds. "In any case, we need a woman to look after Jenny." I just rolled my eyes, saying nothing. I honestly tried to visualize Lola as part of our family. Jenny also stopped being scared of this wild woman, which, for her, looked like a witch from one of her cartoons. I was trying hard, but Lola didn't make it easy for us. She was always calling me and my sister her poor kids, promising to bring order to her life and our home. All of this ended up with us moving the furniture around to the way Lola liked it, and freeing up a separate room for our mummy's walk-in closet. Lola also didn't do any housekeeping. She told her father that he earned enough for us to order takeout and to pay for a maid to do the cleaning. My father didn't really want to waste his money like this, so we continued to share the housework, like we used to do, before Lola appeared. I understand why my father didn't want to ask for a divorce, and so I tried not to argue with Lola, especially bearing in mind that at any sign of a conflict, she would clap her lashes together, pretending that she didn't understand what was going on. But soon, Lola decided to start making money. How should I put this? Using Jenny. My sister is very pretty and looks like a little doll. Must be her mother's genes. Lola couldn't help but notice that, and she got the idea to make Jenny an Instagram account. Little girl models are very popular right now, and Lola saw a lot of potential in Jenny. Neither my father nor I liked this idea, but we didn't interfere because Jenny liked to get dressed up and pretend to be a model, at least in the beginning. Apart from the pictures, Lola also started to stream the stories about how Jenny, nicely dressed with pretty hair, was doing something, and during one of those streams, my sister passed out. I learned about what happened from my school friend, who was one of Jenny's subscribers. Of course Lola denied everything, but my father and I brought Jenny to the doctor, who confirmed that Jenny was very tired, and actually was physically exhausted. Lola dressed Jenny up, put the makeup on her, and did her hair, but she never monitored how Jenny ate and whether she got enough rest. As you might have guessed, that was the last straw for my father. Lola had to choose. Fast and simple, divorce or my father would talk to the police. Lola wasn't stupid, so she quickly moved her artificial backside back to Las Vegas, and we returned to the life that we were used to. Except now, my father's finally started dating women. For Jenny's sake, of course. Have your parents ever done anything strange or silly? Please share your stories in the comments, and don't forget to like my story.